Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I want to do a walkthrough for Immatcher. This is a new plugin from Melda Production, and basically it allows you to take the, EQ spectrum of one thing and paste it onto another, so you can make one thing sound like another thing. That could be your whole mix, or it could be a specific instrument. For me, I'd probably use this most on guitars. I'll show you a little bit how to do that here, and then in the future I'll do more with it. But it's very useful. It can be used for a lot of different things. So let's take a look at it. So we have it here. This is what it looks like. I'll put it before this. And I'll go over some of the different controls here. It has a wet-dry control. So this one allows you to control the dry signal or the wet signal and blend it if you don't want, complete 100% wet. You have an output control. You have the smoothness. I'll show you how that works more in a second. And you also have this average versus max. On my channel before, I showed you how to do this using the freeform EQ, and that's great, but it actually didn't have this. So this average versus max will allow you to take the average signal or the max signal or a blend between them, which I think is really good. You couldn't do that in freeform EQ. So I think this is a really big difference, and I think it really makes lots of sense to have this on here. Here we have the analysis side. What this lets you do is just click this, play some audio, and then you can get the spectrum from whatever that audio is. For this would be the reference, what you want something to sound like. Over here, you have the input, so that might be your guitar or whatever your input is, your song, etc. If you don't want to do this every single time recorded, there's lots of different things you can do here. You can, of course, analyze a file. So anything in your computer you can analyze. You can analyze the folder. So this will import lots of different files you have in the folder. So if you have I have 10 hip hop tracks, it'll just put them all in there and analyze them all at once. You can get the average of everything in there. So if you think, I don't want it to sound exactly like this one track, but I just want kind of like the average of a lot of different tracks, you can do that there. Here you can get the medium, etc. This reset will just erase everything. You can copy this in case I want to paste it into the input. Paste, self-explanatory. Submit this. You can also send it to the servers if you think, oh, I got like a good reference that maybe you don't have. Normalize it, automatic slope, invert it, so turn it upside down, and smooth it out. So that's in there, and of course you can save it. I'll talk about that in a second. Here in the analyze, you have similar things: save, analyze file, etc. So I think these just kind of save you time depending on what you're doing. Now, as I said, you can save it, but you're like, what do you mean save it? Where would I save this? So once you have this spectrum, you can save it over here. So you have reference analysis here. So let's say I have a song I want, and I think, I want to analyze it. It'll be saved in here, and if I have a master, just click here, open this up, and you see there's all sorts of different genres. So let's say I have classical music. I like that. You can look through here and find the specific classical music song you have, and you have the spectrum. And you can match that, maybe almost actually, I know it's automatic. I don't know why I'm saying maybe. It definitely is. And you can match this spectrum to your song. And of course, you see we have classical, we have EDM, lots of different types of EDM here. Almost every single, probably any genre I can think of at least. And you have even the subgenres in here, etc. And if you're thinking like, hey, this doesn't have the one I want my own songs here, just go into here, click save, and then you can save it. And you have your own songs in there too after you record them or analyze them here. So that way, if they don't have what you want in here, you can find it yourself. But as I said, they have quite a few different songs in here, so you may not even need to do that. So that's one way you can do it. And the same thing here for the input. This is the same. So if you don't want to actually input your song, like maybe I might save my guitars in here. So I already have my guitar pickups already saved in here. So every single time I don't have to, record it and get the spectrum. It's already saved in there. So that can save you a lot of time. Of course, you can use the favorites if you're using something like your guitar pickups. You can put them in the favorites so you don't have to search through here, etc. So that's one way you can do it. I'll just reset this here. Now, something else you might want to do, or something I like to do, is use this to make one guitar sound like another. This could be because you want some variety, like, I don't have a ton of different guitars, but I need some variety, and I don't really want to, change pickups, or my bridge pickup doesn't sound good. We can use this to change the sound from one thing to another. So let's say we're going to take this guitar sound here. I'll turn this off for a second. I have Imguitar Architect on here, and I have some audio that sounds like this. So that's my guitar sound. What I want to do is change this. So I'm going to put Immatcher before Imguitar Architect, because I want it to act like a pickup switcher, basically. And I'm just going to click Input and play this to record the spectrum. Usually I like to do a little bit more thorough spectrum analysis here, but for this, it's okay. So click. So you see here, this is our spectrum. I think you saw before, it seemed like there's like, oh, what was that? Like the fill in there, and that's probably your average, whereas this is maybe the max line. So you have them there. Of course, you can blend them here. As you see, it kind of moves between them as I do that, if that's what you want. But now I have my input, and let's take the output. Or actually, the analysis, the reference, I should say, not the output. I'm going to choose something here. What I like to do often is turn the output down in case these just get loud. I'll show you a way you can kind of avoid that later, but for now, we'll do it this way. So we have electric guitar. Inside guitars, I'm going to choose electric guitar because that's what I want it to sound like. And you see we have tons and tons of different guitars here. I don't want to go through every single one. And yeah, please don't ask me, hey, does it have this specific one? As you see here, there's hundreds. Download the 15-day free trial. Check for yourself, and it'll show you what's in there. I'm just going to choose one. I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but I used a humbucking pickup for this in the neck, so let's try something that's not that. Try single coil. I don't know what this will sound like. Hopefully it sounds good. So I have my output down, and as I play it, I'm going to bring the volume up, and then we'll compare them. Okay, so that's what it sounds like, and let's hear the before and after. So you can hear there's quite a bit of difference there between these sounds, as you'd expect from different guitars. Now you can experiment and do this with more of them if you want. I'll show you a few more later. I want to get to something else here. One thing that I think really changes the sound is the smoothness. So the smoother it is, the less difference. It'll just kind of be like a subtle change. So if I have the smoothness all the way like 20%. You're hearing a difference, but it's, I think, a little bit subtle. Move this down. If we move this all the way down, let's say here, you see it's getting more jagged, and also it will get a little bit more detailed in the difference in sound. So you're getting lots of differences there. And that's just kind of preference, how much you want of that or don't want. Another thing here is moving this up and down every single time is a bit annoying. So I'll show you a way you can kind of stop that or make it easier. So I showed you all the stuff here, but you see here the show advanced settings. Here it has a few things that can help you. The first one is keep level. This is really good for using like guitars or I don't know, single instruments. It's not so good for the master, but for the single guitars and things, it's good. Keep level. So that way, you see, kind of did it there here. It's not going to have big level changes, so I don't think you need to really like bring it down so much for these when you change. And of course, as you change from the average to max, it also makes a difference. I'm sorry, my pickups are a little bit noisy too, but hopefully that gave you an idea of what you can do with this and the different sounds. It changed from like a humbucking pickup to more of a single coil sound here, and it changed from neck in my case, my actual guitar, to more of a middle pickup. So I think it's a big difference, and this can be used to match any of these guitars here, but also you can save your own guitar in here. So if, let's say, I recorded something and then later it's like, I actually don't have that guitar with me, I can use this to match a previous guitar with the one I have now. So I don't have to, wait 3 weeks until I can get my guitar to do an overdub or something like that. So this can come in handy for that. Let's look in here in the advanced settings again, just for a few more things. So I showed you the keep level. That's great for single instrument tracks. We also have this mid-side analysis. So for a guitar, it's not really going to have mid-side, it's all in mono. But for a master, using this, it will analyze it in mid-side mode, so you can kind of hear differences in the stereo and the mid signal. So it's not just a whole analysis for the whole thing. You have different analysis for the mid and side. Here it might be left and right. I'm actually not sure about that. I don't know. But I usually keep that on. Seems good to me. Here it's in minimum phase. What this will do is, by default, it's going to be a minimum phase transformation, which means if we look in here, you see latency 0. You can play with this on in real time, which is great. And also, you don't have to worry about any latency. But if you're thinking like, I'm getting like some phasiness or something, I don't like that, you can change this here, turn it off. Now it's in linear phase. So if I look here now, probably not right. Still not reporting it. For whatever reason, it's not reporting it right now, but it actually is not in. Actually, might need to play something. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it was in sleep mode. Sorry. Here you can see it actually has some latency. It's like 170 milliseconds, and that's because of this. It's in linear phase. I'm change it back to minimum phase. So use whichever one you feel better. Individual channels for reference, etc. Individual channels for input, kind of self-explanatory. Here you see you're getting lots of boosting in the high end, and that's because I don't have lots of high end in my particular pickup setting here. If I think I don't want that to be boosted here, I can change this max frequency and just bring this down so it's not analyzing that top there. And it's like, okay, you see, it kind of compresses that. So you can do that. And the same thing for the bottom if I was getting something there. So that can be useful. You have the quality settings, which actually do make quite a bit of difference. It uses more CPU if I do 8, but I can, or I can do 1. So if you think like, I need to save some CPU, maybe I might set it at 1, but then when I want to render it or something, I can change it to 8. And of course, they sound a little bit different, so I wouldn't just automatically switch it, but give it a listen. Uh, that's about it. The other ones are, I don't think they're really that important, but that's basically how you use this with the advanced settings here. And I'll show you, actually, I won't show you, I'll explain one more thing you can do with this. So I showed you how you can use this for guitars. I kind of explained how you could use this with different references for the master and everything in different genres there. But another thing you can use this for is headphone monitoring. So I have some headphones. I have, what was it? The Audio Technica AX40s, I think. So I was looking here and I find my headphones, ATH M40s here. And so this is my input. I make sure I'm on input analysis here. And it gives me this curve. So I can just put my headphones on. Then I go back to my reference analysis. I'll use headphone targets. And there's different ones in here I can use. I could use even the headphones if I wanted to make it sound like a different type of headphones. I probably wouldn't, but you never know. Maybe I have. Okay, I might want to try some of these to hear how it sounds on different headphones here. But in the headphone targets, it has all headphones average, which I might want to do to make sure my headphones aren't unduly boosting or cutting a certain frequency. All headphones median. We have default, and then flat, which you might want to hear like, oh, what does it sound like flat? My mix sound okay. And then you have various things here. And so you can just kind of check your mix really easily with a click of a button on different types of headphones to make sure your mix sounds great everywhere. This makes it really easy and it's really fast to do. And of course, you can, like I said, you can save your own. So if you had some other, headphone file or something, you could do that. I don't know where you'd get that, but if you did, you can. And the same thing here. This comes with all these different guitar files here. These are just the ones that come with it, but I said, of course, you can load your own in here by, recording it and then saving it. And you don't even need to use guitars. You could use some other instrument. So if you're a, harp player or, glockenspiel player, you could make your own folders in here like that. And my glockenspiel folder in here. So that's perfectly fine and good. So that's what you can do. I'll even show some other things, but at a later date. I know this is getting long for the quick walkthrough, but there's all sorts of things you can do with this. I'll show you how you can do this more in depth with the guitars in the future because, I love guitars. My channel's called Chandler Guitar. But for now, if you have any other questions, leave them below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this, and be sure to check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.